How are we doing, everyone? Fulham on Sunday, the last game for Manchester United before the World Cup. We need to finish on a high. The second half against Villa was a bit of a high. Yeah, there was some questions defensively. There was big changes in that team. I imagine Ten Hag's going to sweep the changes in for this game as well. I'm going to run through my starting 11, everything that Ten Hag said ahead of the game, my prediction. You can let me know what you think in the comments, but make sure you drop a like on the video. And before I start, I do want to say thank you, everybody who supported the launch of the merch. It's been amazing. I can't wait to reinvest it, put it back into new designs. I've already got new ideas, but thank you for the bottom of my heart to everybody who continues to support United People's TV. But let's talk about the footy. Fulham on Sunday. Will pre-season Pirlo turn up and score against us? He probably will. You know, he's actually been playing pretty decent. Mitrovic, I believe, is missing, which is a good thing. But in terms of Ten Hag, there's a question I think a lot of you will have. What will the players' attitudes be? It's the last game before the World Cup. They might not want to get injured. Will they want to play? Ten Hag has got one focus. He said, I think the players are all aware of the importance of the game against Fulham. I will not take the World Cup into regard. We play the best team until Sunday. It is in the interest of Manchester United and only the interest of Manchester United. Ten Hag laying down the law right there. There won't be any resting players just in case they get injured for the World Cup. No, sod that. His focus is on Man United and he's going to be driving that into the players. So it's good to hear the boss saying that. In terms of selection, we don't know whether Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be fit to start. I think even if he was fit, I don't think he'd start, personally. Anthony, I don't particularly think he'll come back in either. Now, Anthony Martial came back in, of course, and this was the starting 11 that we played against Aston Villa in the League Cup, and there were sweeping changes. Dubravka came in in goal. Maguire and Lindelof started him in defence. You have Matasier at left back. You have Fred and McTominay starting in midfield, and Van der Beek obviously got another opportunity. Bruno forced out wide, and Martial started up front. I know there's going to be sweeping changes from that. Back to more what we expect to see from Manchester United. And the core of that is this, man. Congratulations to Martinez, who's going to the World Cup with Argentina. Imagine he comes back as a world champion. Oi! It could do. Argentina are on an absolute storming run. I think what we're all hoping for. Maybe not what we're all hoping for, because we want England to win the World Cup, right? But a Brazil-Argentina final, given the form that both teams have going into it, would be an absolute spectacle. So without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to see Martinez come back into the team. And I'll be honest, though, I don't actually know who's going to come in as his partner, whether it's going to be Harry Maguire or Lindelof. Lindelof, I think, was pretty damn poor. It strikes me as to say that Lindelof will keep his place, considering he's been the favoured choice so far. But I thought both of them, Maguire and Lindelof, were pretty poor against Aston Villa in the League Cup. And I think Ten Hag will kind of be entitled to start either of them. You can let me know what you think about that. Now, one change we're definitely going to get, of course, is no Diogo Dalot. This will be the first game this season where Diogo Dalot doesn't start. The guy's been an absolute machine for United and going to the World Cup with Portugal. Good luck to him at the World Cup. Now, I think we're going to be seeing this. I think you're going to see Matasier come over to the right-hand side and Luke Shaw play there. And I'll tell you what, I would trust Matasier to do a pretty decent job there. Strikes me as that sort of player that, yeah, right back won't be his most comfortable position. I don't think he'll play incredibly and if Fulham are smart about it, they'll probably try and expose that. Try and catch him on the off foot if he is playing there. But in terms of other options there, Wan-Bissaka may as well be a ghost. He's not even on the bench here. That's pretty much I think Wan-Bissaka's going to be fit to play. He'll be on the bench against Fulham. I don't think he'll start him. And the other alternative is playing Lindelof at right back. And I didn't like that experiment. I don't want to see that again. So I think it's going to be that back five with, of course, Dubravka coming out for De Gea, who's going to come back in between the sticks. And in midfield, I don't really need to tell you about the changes that I expect to see because you expect to see them as well. The return of these two. And isn't it nice how it feels very settled? And if I'm looking at the best teams in the Premier League over history and looking at how they've built success across the course of a season, they have a settled 11. They might tweak and change little bits here and there, but ultimately you've got two centre-backs that you rely on all season, your goalkeeper, your spine in midfield, and your attackers. And Casemiro and Eriksen are definitely the spine of this team at this moment in time, alongside, as I said, Martinez. So absolutely you're going to see McTominay drop back to the bench, Casemiro come in. There's no questions about, oh, maybe they don't want to play because he might get injured before the World Cup. Sod the World Cup. This is our World Cup final. Fulham on Sunday. We need to finish with a bang. After losing to Villa last weekend, it'll be terrible if we go into the World Cup off the back of 2 back-to-back defeats against Villa and Fulham. Kind of under all the good work we did in October. And there was a lot of good work. And for me, these two are crucial to that. Eriksen, he's the playmaker from deep. Eriksen has looked a little bit jaded, a little bit tired, I'll be completely honest, in these last few games. And he hasn't been as effective. But yet, even when he came off the bench against Villa, he helped us get more control of the ball, control of the game. And control is Ten Hag's favourite buzzword. And of course, Casemiro is that Kevlar jacket, that safety net, that defensive midfielder that we need, that natural, instinctive defensive midfielder that we need. And Fulham, I think, they'll play decent football. They haven't got Mitrovic, which is good, for sure. But there's one person that I haven't done a video on him individually yet, because I don't think we should be. And it's not Bruno. It's Donny van de Beek. Now, ladies and gents, right? You can tell me and you can show me. I saw United Arena's thread on Van de Beek's off-the-ball movement. Sure. Yeah, I know. I understand that's a part of his game. But I'm looking at what Manchester United need that number 10 to be, and that's not what Donny van de Beek is doing. I understand that off-the-ball runs are getting ignored, X, Y, Z. If he's going to play there, he has to do what Bruno does, but try and do it better. And that means being on the ball all the time, showing for the ball, not making the runs in behind, being a supporting striker number 10. It's being a proper number 10, like just in front of the two central midfielders. That's where Van de Beek needs to operate. And he doesn't understand that position. He doesn't understand how to do that properly inside this team. So without a shadow of a doubt, Van de Beek drops to the bench and Bruno comes back into his natural position. Bruno was magnificent in that second half. Not you. Bruno was magnificent in that second half against Aston Villa when Van de Beek got taken off and Bruno got shifted inside. Bruno is a player I've from day one, I've said I don't understand why there are United fans that try to slam and slate Bruno and suggest that he comes out of the team. We saw what we're like without him against Aston Villa in the league. We saw how important and influential he can be in our comeback against Villa in the League Cup. He is an influential, captain-like figure in this team who sets the tempo and the pace and the energy. Without him in it, the attack looks different and feels different and operates different. And he should be starting in that number 10 role. And the Van de Beek experiment, that's past. Bruno is going to be starting number 10 all day long, even after the World Cup. Now, it's an attack where I think there are... I wouldn't say it's a dilemma. Actually, no, I would say it's a little bit of a dilemma because he's definitely got questions to be asked about certain positions. And there's one in particular, and that's this. Who starts on the left wing? This is what you want to have. As a manager, that's what it says. It's the best problem to have in football. Two players who are in form and fit and ready, and Ten Hag could start either of them. Who gets the nod for you? Rashford or Garnacho? In my opinion, I think we'll see Rashford start on the left-hand side. I think he'll keep his spot. I think we'll see the same sort of setup that we saw against Aston Villa in the League Cup. Last 20, 25 minutes or so, I imagine Martial will come off because Martial won't be fit, I don't think, to start and complete 90 minutes. Not just yet. So I think Rashford would then move into the middle and Garnacho would come in and then play on the left wing for probably the last half an hour or so. That's what I would imagine we would see. But I might be wrong, and you can let me know what you think in the comments below, because I do think we will see Martial start. And my, we have missed him this season. I do really feel a sense of trepidation because I think the success of United's progress in the second half of the season is kind of going to depend on whether or not this dude stays fit. And history tells us he's not going to stay fit. That's why I want us to attack the transfer market in January, accelerate plans that we have for the summer, try and sign someone and bring someone in. But I think Martial starts up front. And the only question we've really got still remains, who plays here if Anthony is injured? Now, Anthony has been injured for a few weeks now. I don't think if... although Ten Hag did say this, as I said, I'll go back to that. He said, look, we play the best team until Sunday. It's in the interest of Manchester United and only the interest of Manchester United. I don't think he'll risk Anthony. Maybe Anthony's fit and ready and he's been training all week and he'll come in. And if he does, then he absolutely starts. But I think if he doesn't, that's not him. I think we'll see Anthony Elanga start on the right wing. Now, we can say what we want about Pellistri deserving his chances, X, Y, Z, and I've said it quite a few times. Obviously, I think it's a fair assumption to make at this point that Pellistri's not doing enough in training. because Garnacho's come in and got his chance. So it's not an age thing. It's not about not playing academy players, X, Y, Z. If you're working hard enough and you're earning your chances in training, you will get chances. And Pelistri's just not got them. And of course, he's had a lot of injuries. So I think it'll be that. I think it'll be Elanga on the right-hand side, which, of course, makes that a bit of a weak point for United. Malacia and Elanga out on the right wing. That right flank is, as I said, if I'm Fulham, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that and saying, yeah, that's a problem. And also, if you're looking at someone who's going to add defensive work rate and maybe double up and help Malacia, you're looking at Elanga probably doing that better than anybody else inside that team. That will be a strength of Elanga's game. But Erik Ten Hag will be demanding that these players don't take their foot off the gas, that they don't have their head at the World Cup and they don't want to get injured and they go into every tackle with like, not even a 50-50. United have had a very good October. It was a really disappointing loss against Villa. We bounced back with a pretty dramatic and quite entertaining win against Villa in the League Cup. But now we've got Fulham away. Win here. That ends part 1 of this season. We come back. I think it's the 27th. We play Nottingham Forest. And the second half of this season begins. Finish on a high. And that would be my team, right? Back 5 of De Gea with Shaw at left back, Malacia at right back, and Lindelof and Martinez in defence. With a midfield trio, you know what it is. Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. It's pretty established now. And a front 3 of Rashford on the left, not Garnacho. I think he'll come on in the second half. Martial up front. I don't think he'll survive 90 minutes, so I think he'll come off. And Elanga. I haven't even talked about Ronaldo because I don't really think Ronaldo's part of the conversation. And I don't even think he'd come off the bench because I think if anything's going to happen, it's going to be Rashford through the middle and Garnacho on the left wing because that's the players in form for Manchester United at this moment in time. My prediction for the game, I reckon it's going to be, I like to think we'll get over the line, but I don't think it will be a beautiful game. It strikes me as like a 2-1 game. Fulham, they're at home. They haven't got Mitrovic. That takes away a big attacking threat that they've got. But if United have got a bit of a weakness on that right flank, no matter who plays there. Or maybe Anthony will play there. But even then, it will still be Malacia, I think. You can let me know who you would pick, what your prediction is. Mine's 2-1. That's my starting 11. Last game before the World Cup. Drop a like on the video, peeps. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you for the game and hopefully 3 points.